Hey everybody, I am Elisha Christopher. Thanks for tuning in. It's another beautiful day in the garden, and let us begin, as always, with one simple breath. So exhale and take a deep breath in. And let go. And so today, I want to talk about honoring your emotions. This is perhaps an incredibly stressful time for a lot of us. And I know that myself and a lot of people in my direct world have been experiencing a lot of feelings and moving through sort of like the roller coaster of ups and downs. And I just want to speak to the sort of emotional stressors that are on top of us right now. That we live in this moment where there is this sort of blanket of overlying anxiety due to COVID-19, and every one of us is on shelter in place. We're at home, our schedules have been broken, that things are not functioning normally, and that the rat race that has been keeping us distracted has kind of fallen away. And so not only do we have this sort of existential crisis that's going on that we're all experiencing together, that if you watch the news, it's just constantly reminding you of what's going on, and there's a lot of fear to be experienced. And that has its own emotional toll and stress factor on every single one of us. And then we have our own individual personal emotional experience of the changes in our life, or the interactions with other people, or the questions and the fears that we personally have about our experience of this thing and what's going to happen as the world changes. And I just want to give everyone permission to really feel your feelings, because they're real. And that the world that we've lived in for so long has told us to kind of just eat our feelings and stuff them down to just keep the world rolling, and that we have to show up every day and kind of be the same person every day, regardless of what might actually be moving inside of us. And so I want to use this time myself, and I invite you, as you have the opportunity to be a little slower and to actually feel yourself a little bit more, to really start thinking about what are the sources of all these anxieties and all of these fears. And I know for myself, sometimes the personal stuff feels really exacerbated and so much bigger because of this overarching fear and anxiety that's laying on top of everything. And so there's this sort of balancing act that I think we all need to do right now, of really tapping into our emotional self and asking those questions, and using the body and the emotions as guide and metaphor, so that if we feel tension, if we feel fear, if we feel anxiety, where do you feel it in your body? Because there may be a metaphor or a story for you in the different places that you feel energy locked up. If you get that tightness in your throat, it's often because there's something that needs to be expressed. If there's that gut feeling, there's information there, and every kind of feeling has a place in our body oftentimes. And so to really start using this time as we slow down a little bit to listen to ourselves and really to honor our feelings. And when they come up, to allow them and not to try to stuff them down, because, if our feelings are here to be felt, and the only way through is through. And so if we have these underlying anxieties or the underlying fears, really the best thing to do is address them, to talk about them, to go into them to an extent. Many of us have probably experienced grief at some point in our life, and grief is an incredibly healthy emotion to experience when something dies, when something falls away. It's when that grief takes over our life and it lasts too long, in a sense, that it can become harmful or damaging. And oftentimes the world that we've lived in has told us we don't really want to see your feelings, we just want you to know that you're doing good, and you just keep going and smiling. And I think this is a time to be really real, to be really authentic, to reach out to people and to have the conversations that we need to have, and find the support people, the therapists, the friends, the practitioners, the ministers, the whomever that we can reach out to really process through what we're going through, because we need to lean into each other a little bit so that we can explore ourselves, so that we can all remain healthy and mentally and emotionally well through this time. Because as this experience unfolds around us, we all need to really find a way to manage our own center as much as we can, so that we can be strong for the people around us and also strong for ourselves. And so I invite you to begin to look to your emotions as a guide. And this collective experience. We're having a collective emotional experience, and there's information in this for us if we're willing to listen to it. And it's going to take each one of us really becoming in tune with ourselves, breathing, slowing down, looking for the metaphors, finding our flow, like really allowing the true nature of who we are to speak to us and through us. And our emotional guidance system is the biggest communicator we have to inform us about how we're doing and how we feel about the world that we're living in and the experiences we're having and the people we're interacting with. And so use your emotions as a guide. Don't make them wrong. Allow yourself to feel the fear, to feel the anger, to feel the anxiety, to go outside and experience the beauty and the joy of nature, to allow the roller coaster of emotions to be an adventure, to be an informative experience. And if we can all start to listen to ourselves and then take the time to listen to each other, imagine what kind of collective healing we could begin to cultivate as we start to honor our emotions and speak about our feelings and really be present to each other. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening. I just want to remind you to honor your feelings and to be present to the feelings of others in whatever way that you can. If you're appreciating what you're hearing on this channel, please subscribe. And if you feel so called, share my channel with a friend, someone who you think might be willing to hear it. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you tomorrow.